What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It has been 3 whole months, if not longer, since I have posted to my channel. And the problem is, I haven't done anything since the last time you seen the last video 3 months ago. Or if you're just new here, I haven't posted in 3 months because I ain't done nothing. But in the meantime, done some reflecting on things I want to do. So today's project, and for the next few weeks, we're working on the Civic. And the Civic is getting a complete change. No, we're not changing the car with the wheels or nothing like that. If you look over here on my board here, we're doing a turbo budget series build. And today we're going to go through all the parts I've got and what I still need. And then I am going to go ahead and tear down to it. I'm going to go ahead and get the intake off and maybe the exhaust off. But let's get down into what we ordered. Our budget was going to be around $3,000. And I think we're really close. We're going to break budget a little bit, but it'll be fine. As you can tell, there's no Tulare over there. For this budget series, I wanted to do something where I don't have to come out of pocket at all. So we sold the Tulare X3. And we used all that money to buy all that stuff, and we got some left over. And we got the Civic parked in here. This is the last time the Civic's gonna be here, running under a stock K-Series. Next time it runs out of this garage, it'll be Turbo K. So let me get you on the tripod, and I'm gonna show you what we got and what we need. First on the list, turbo blanket. That'll be here Monday. Our intercooler piping will be here Monday. That's the only other things we're waiting on. Obviously, the downpipe and waste dump is going to be custom. We're going to have to get someone to make that for us. Oil and coolant, that's to be told. Obviously, drain the coolant and oil. We're going to have to replace that. I'm keeping stock intake manifold right now. I'm going to see how good the plastic one holds up. I'm only going for about 400 horsepower, so I don't want to overdo it. So to keep down on cost, we're just keeping stock intake manifold and throttle body. I know I will eventually need the clutch, but I want to get this done. I know I need spark plugs, and I know I'll need a turbo guard or filter. Let me show you what we got on the table over there. All right, we're just gonna run through this, and then I want to go ahead and jump on getting the hood off, get the bumper off, and start tearing it apart. But we'll start with the most expensive thing on this table is our DC5 Sidewinder manifold. Exhaust manifold. It's got a 44 millimeter wastegate dump on it. It leads me into our wastegate. This is a cheap knockoff tile wannabe. 11-pound spring. It might be too much, but it'll be all right. Also from DC5, we got the heater core tuck kit. This gets rid of the heater cores coming straight off the firewall instead of going straight down. So that'll replace that. We got our drain tube for our oil. We're gonna tap this in and sandwich it on the oil plate, on the oil pan to keep it cheap. Oil feed off the sandwich plate. Exhaust strap to keep everything cool in the engine bay. Map bar, wow. 4-bar map sensor for Hondata. For fuel purposes, we got a Walbro 450. OEM, not OEM, but genuine pump. We got Bosch 2200cc injectors, and then we got this eBay fuel rail to support fuel pump and fuel injectors. Here's our blow-off valve, generic eBay. There's the price on the screen. And then we got a fuel pressure regulator kit from eBay as well. Water neck for the K24 to keep the coolant come from the side of it. It comes straight out now. Save room for the turbo. Generic air fuel gauge, but it does have a AEM sensor I got with it. A digital PSI boost gauge. A battery relocation kit because you have to relocate the battery. And for the cheap turbo, Max Speeding Rods turbo, it's a 3076. And our intercooler Intercooler is smaller than expected, but it's still 3-inch core and it's 18 inches long. I think it'd be well enough to go 400 horsepower. There. But overall, eBay stuff besides name brand exhaust manifold for the turbo manifold, AC or heater core, tuck kit, fuel pump, fuel injectors, everything else is going to be eBay. It is what it is. It's cheap, but with some good parts. Like, I don't want to run out of fuel. I want a good exhaust manifold for a good flow. I should probably change the wastegate in the turbo eventually. But like I said, my goal is to get it done. Get it done. I can upgrade later. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and start tearing into the car because I've had all these parts here for a week now, and I'm itching. You know, I'm trying to get going. So I'm gonna put you on tripod, maybe a time lapse, get the hood off, get the bumper off, and start tearing into it. I'm so excited. battery out, the battery tray off, windshield cowl, and then moved on to the exhaust. I pulled the stock manifold off. Since it's not lifted off the ground, I had to lift it off to get this. This goes over the steering rack, or the sway bar, whatever it is, so down there. Best way I found possible is remove your shifter linkages and remove your ECU harness and pull the heating core hoses out the way, pull it up through where the intake sits. Got the intake out, so now I'm going to set up the DC5 exhaust manifold, and I might bolt the turbo on there to see where everything's going to sit if I have to move anything. I know I have to do my heater core tuck kit. That's coming up next, so I just want to see the turbo sitting on there. So I got as far as pulling the rest of the wiring harness apart right here, because I'm going to tape this up, clean this up, tuck it a little bit better, and get things off the side of the head right there. Pulled the fuel line, and I squeezed the pipe here, and I got a coolant leak. Oh, I never knew that. So my throttle body coolant hose has a leak in it, which is fine. I'm going to replace that. I'm going to use this as coolant line to the turbo. But right now I'm just trying to get everything figured out. I got this vacuum hose here that I need to figure out, get it out the way. And then I got this evap here. I don't know if I need to run that or if I could block it off or not. Actually, I think that might be part of the fuel return with evap in it. So I might use this hose as fuel return for our fuel rail. but I need to get rid of the evap. So I need to block off this vacuum port here and take this off here. So that's what I'm gonna do now. And once that's done, I can set the exhaust manifold on and see how that looks. But I really want to get it cleaned up over here so it's not as ugly and wiry. But keep it OEM, I'm not trying to do a full wire tuck or nothing here. Forgive me, after doing research, this hose here coming off of the evap is not a fuel return, it is a vent tube. So do not use that as a fuel return because that is not a thing. So I'm gonna put that hose right back on there and put that clip on there. I guess we're gonna keep this. I guess I'll route the hose down further away from the exhaust. And apparently our system here only uses a returnless fuel system. So I guess I gotta plug one side of my fuel rail and run a returnless fuel system. I don't know, I've only seen people run returnless and run an extra fuel line. I don't know, I'm gonna run it returnless, see what happens. If I need to change it, I can. But let's move 2 hoses out the way and set the exhaust manifold on there. That's what I'm getting. My goal is today is to at least get the exhaust manifold on there, the turbo sitting on there, see what we can do. That's today's video. So thanks for sticking around. Got the exhaust turbo manifold on. Got 2 nuts holding it on. There it is. You see where the turbo is sitting. Pulled the turbo out. Looked at it. Figured out I'm gonna have to do something here. See this water neck here? I bought one of those to change because of that reason. The turbo hits the water neck coming off right there. This turbo, or this water neck, must be for a K20 because it is way too long. So I'm SOL with that. So I'm stuck. I can't even put the turbo on, but I have the exhaust manifold on. But what it did show me I do need to do the heater core tuck kit, which does involve this hose here, but it hits on here. So I'm not sure if I can use the stock one here, if he came with any connectors to unscrew this into that, but I don't think that's gonna work. So let me see what we got in the bag and go from there. Buddy, I'm struggling right now. So I'm gonna go put the, obviously I told you I put turbo on. It hits here, right? So the only one who makes one for that is K-Tuned. It's $160. So I'm gonna see what I can do about that. So I figured, might as well go and put the heater tuck lines in it because your heater core lines are back there. There's 2 coming off the wall and going down, which are these 2 hoses actually. The bottom one goes all the way under the intake manifold, all the way back to the thermostat housing right there. Right there, you see it right there? But I'm having a hard time getting it off. And there's gonna be coolant everywhere. I didn't drain the coolant, which is I probably should have. So I'm kind of stuck here at this moment. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about this water neck. Once I figure out the water neck, the turbo will be able to go on, and then I can start routing coolant lines and oil lines to the turbo. But I need to do the heater core tuck kit first and put my little fittings on the back of the firewall, and then I need to run this into the thermostat so I can put these lines on here. And yeah, so once that's on, once I figure out the heater core tuck and get the exhaust and turbo sitting on there, it's going to be pretty easy to get your, all the other essentials out of the way. Right now I'm fighting OEM stuff and placement and clips and stuff like that. So that's where we're at on that. And I think I'm gonna stop it right there. I'm gonna take a break, see if I can find a cheap eBay alternative to this water neck. Because come to find out, these are for K24s, right? But mine's a K24Z head, and the head is slightly different. It's more triangle than it is rectangle. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for coming back. If you came back after 3 months of no videos, thanks for coming to the channel if you're new to the channel. Yeah, we're gonna keep on working on this. Not today, I'm gonna take a break. I've been out here for a little bit. I think the worst part is getting everything ready to put things on. That's what's taking me the longest. And I gotta clean up because I gotta pull my car in tonight, clean this all up and get ready for tomorrow. Turbo K-Series, budget turbo 9th gen. Anyway, today's video is gonna be about swapping heater core lines. I went out today, bought a drain pan. I got to change heater core lines because they do sit, move the wire harness out of the way, they sit right where the exhaust is going to be sitting. I did order a new K-tuned water neck here, so that comes in this weekend. I'm gonna try to put you on the GoPro if I don't forget. I am a solo man. So first on the list, heater core hoses, and then I still got to figure out where I'm going to pull coolant from for my turbo, which I think the K-Tune comes with 2 extra ports we can do. So today, heater core, we got our turbo blanket in today, we got our piping in today, so everything's pretty much here. Let's get into it. Alright, I got the heater core hoses off. I made a mess even though I had a drain pan, but hey, I caught a lot more than I spilt, so that's good. That's a plus. Waiting for this to come in. Comes in Thursday. Now I got to worry about getting this tube off. It goes underneath the intake manifold to the thermostat housing. I'm going to try to do it with the intake on. I do not want to take that off. But as you can see back there, they're out. And I'll give you a rundown on how to install the DC5 ones in just a second. Let me try to get this pipe off and then we'll see where we go from here. Yeah, I just made a mess, but I got the hard line out. That was a pain in the butt. I had to end up going underneath the car and just kind of tapping it out of the hole down there. But now the new one from DC5, he makes one that just pushes down in there. They also got this drill bit and wire to hold it down. I think I have to take out the whole thermostat housing to do that, but I don't foresee in this getting too hot and pushing coolant out that much. And if it does, it'll be a bad day and then I don't have to do it. But I think we're gonna skip that portion now. Let's get to throwing those fittings on so we can put the lines on. Obviously, as you remember, I took off that piece going the side of the head right here. I can't connect the lines yet, but I can put them in where they go. But first, I'm going to clean up this mess. I didn't anticipate all that coming out, so yeah, unfortunate. All right, I finally got these in. Back there, they're on the heater core. The end of it comes off. You got an O-ring, slide the cap on there, O-ring on, and tighten it together. And it pushes against the barb end coming out of the dash, the firewall. So the last one I gotta do is put this one in here. Once that's in there, I'm gonna go ahead and run my new hoses. All right, I got it all set up. I did end up running that wire around, as you can see down there. See the wire? Yep. Got that going all the way around, tucked up under there, behind there. So manifold and exhaust will have room. I am going to put heat wrap and tape over the vacuum lines and the fuel lines and the harness. That harness is going to be cleaned up. But real quick, before I'm done for the night, I am going to put the turbo manifold and a turbo on here to see what it looks like. We got our turbo sitting on there. Looks pretty good. I don't have the correct bolts, but I got room for exhaust for downpipe and room for dump tube. That's a little close. I might heat wrap some of this exhaust pipe, but overall, I mean, there's a turbo on there. I'm gonna have a 90 here, straight down. Probably go 90 here or 45 here. Either way, yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll call it quits on that. I know I didn't film anything of that, but a video is a video. That's a goal of mine. Got the heated core tuck kit, waiting on our K-tuned water neck to show up so we can finally plumb that in. I did delete my evap. I seen that in K-tune you can cut the cell off for this and tune it full without it. And honestly, I couldn't run it because it's so close. There's a turbo in there. I'm so excited. Waiting on a few more things. Like now that coolant's done, I'm waiting on fuel return because I need to do a fuel return setup. And then after that, I mean, shoot, on the home stretch, there ain't many parts left. I can come over here and mark off heater core hoses. Boom, done. Waiting on this. I mean, everything else is there. I mean, it is what it is. Sweet, I'm excited. All right, back out here for day 2 on working on a coolant system. I thought we were gonna be done, but my K-tuned water net came in. Pretty and billet, beautiful piece of engineering right here. But also while I was at it, I went ahead and got me a K-tuned aluminum pressure tested oil pressure adapter instead of running a sandwich plate. So real quick, I went ahead and pulled out my oil pressure sensor. We're gonna put this on the end of that, put it in there. We're gonna go ahead and run the oil feed line to where the turbo is gonna be sitting. So I'm gonna screw this on real quick. All this stuff I've been doing is behind the motor, in between the firewall and the motor. So it's hard to record it, so if I don't have it on camera, sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and slap this on real quick, and then I will show you this new part going on because that's what's gonna make it finished with our coolant situation, okay? Cool. All right, so here's the old one off. You do have to remove your coolant temp sensor, and it goes in the bottom of the K-tuned. Also, with my heater core tuck kit, it came with this piece here. It's a swivel neck for the bottom of the K-tuned. That's the original. If you still have a hose, this is AN fitting. And then I had to pull the studs out. There's 2 studs. Don't mind the kitty litter, that's from my spill yesterday. Pull the studs out, and you do get 3 new bolts with K-tuned that are nice and shiny and Allen head. We pop that in there. Don't forget to clean your old gasket off. And there you go. All right, got the K-tuned water neck in there. There we are. I unplugged some wire and harness so I can see better. It looks nice and pretty in there, and there's our thing for this right here. And that'll slide right on there and look so pretty. And then once that's done, the heating or heater core, all the water stuff is completely done. We're not going to be running coolant to the turbo for now. I don't think we need it. We're not going to be beating on this car like you think we are. Next thing to do is I'm going to wait to do this until next video. I have to change out the location of the fuel income inlet because the turbo manifold's going to be right there, and I don't want any risk of fire. So we're going to try to relocate this, probably mount the fuel pressure regulator somewhere else. That's gonna be another day. I gotta wait on my fuel return line, and I can do that. But oil feed is ran, coolant neck is done. I'm gonna go ahead and put that coolant line on, and then I'm going to mess with the wires and try to get everything together, bundled up, nice and neatly. I might end up taking the shifter cables off and pulling the wire and harness on this side and hiding everything underneath the intake piping. Yeah, so we'll see how that works out because I don't like this jumbo mess. Now I do have the original, that piece that goes right there. Good God, I need to clean up. I know it's just in my way, but yeah, I mean, everything else is here. I just need to get it cleaned up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and connect my hose down there and my upper radiator hose. I still need to plug these. Anyway, let me go do some work and I'll be back in a second. Alright, water neck is on. Everything's plumbed. I wrapped up these wires. I left the map sensor off and the O2 sensor wire just in case. And actually that's evap. This is mass airflow. And then down there is a oxygen sensor that is unplugged, which I don't need. So once the turbo's on there and the intercooler piping, this will be cleaned out. I have my little filter here. I look a lot better once that's all filled in. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm hot and sweaty. I'm done for the night. So we can come over here and we can mark off water neck and oil feed. So we can go over here to water neck. Water neck is done. Oil and coolant for the turbo. Well, where's it at? Fuel pressure, fuel pump. Am I missing something here? Oil feed is done. Sorry, it's all up there. Oil feed. So turbo manifold. I mean that's is what it is. Everything it is what it is. I need to work on intercooler piping, wastegate blow off valve, which goes into that. Boost controller, which also goes into wastegate. So we'll wait for that. Exhaust flap, battery liquid map sensor, oil coolant. I mean we're pretty much done. I'm gonna do the oil drain next. Drain the oil next. Do the bung for that. And I think once that's I'm gonna try something new. I've never done this before. So I went out and I bought, this is from Amazon. It's 3-inch stainless steel exhaust. 3-inch, and I guess I'm making this exhaust myself. So let me show you what I've got so far. So I'm using V-bands, and I had this 90 that I cut down, and I cut this 90 down and I took it to work. I split it, folded it to get the V-band to have more of an angle like that. And the thing is with doing all this is I'll get something welded up, but I have to cut it here, wait overnight, next day go to work, have someone weld it up, and then come back home, test fit it, and do all that. I mean, it's a process. So this is what we did. I went out to Harbor Freight and I bought a $100 electric 120 volt 3-in-1 MIG welder. It's flux. I've never welded before. I know how. I know the process of welding. I know the steps and what you're supposed to do. But when it comes down to actually welding, I've never done it. But I felt like today was the day, because building my exhaust should not take a week or two. So bouncing back and forth, getting people to weld stuff up for me. So if I can just get the exhaust made and tacked together, not fully welded, it depends on how my welds look, to be honest with you, which it's all getting exhaust wrapped, so it's not like it matters. But we're gonna try this so I don't have to keep running back and forth with getting somebody welded up, so I can at least tack the exhaust. When I mean exhaust, I mean turbo downpipe to the factory exhaust, keep it a full exhaust, because there's no point. I don't like hood exits, it's just obnoxious. So went out there, got this, and we're gonna try to do some welding today. Weld with this burger, and made some metal together. So, yeah. All right, so I just got it all, the wire fed through and all that. I have the instruction manual out. What's good, what's bad, how to use it correctly. So I'm gonna take it out to the shop real quick and plug it up. And I'm gonna take these 2 pieces of metal out there. We're gonna take these and see if I can make these up. See how they let's see how they tack up. Alright, so I did a little testing on my little pieces I showed you earlier. I don't know what I'm doing, but I do know I can get it tacked. Now, did I blow through that hole right there? Sure did. But I blew through that one, sure did. And that one looks terrible. It looks terrible. Yes, I know it's terrible. I'm not a welder. I paint cars for a living. This is not my territory. But it's tacked up, so it means I can go test fit it and see what else I need to cut. See where I can go from there. The welder works. Obviously, it stuck it together. Now, I'm piss poor at this. This is so bad. But it's lined up. That's where I need it. So I'm gonna go test fit it and catch it. Okay, like I said, I'm not a fabricator, but I have a brain, and I think I'm gonna get Joseph to weld this up at work. But turbo, it kind of goes in towards the motor, 90 down, 90 out. I had to cut this, angle it up, because the heat shield does that anyway underneath the car. So this is level with the car. It goes like this, up, turbo. I made that with a $100 Harbor Freight welder. Don't look at that. Look at that. That's a bead. Look, wow. See, that's a good tack. I mean, budget build. Not so budget build. Exhaust, downpipe, made by yours truly. I am going to get Joseph to weld it up, so thank you, Joseph. But I did this. I'm not a fabricator. I don't weld. I can sling some paint. I'm actually pretty excited about that. Wait, come on now, dude. Look at that. I mean, come on now, dude. Come on now. I mean, look. I mean, come on now. I mean, come on now. Come on now. All right, as you can see, we got the exhaust welded up. Thanks, Joseph. I appreciate that. So what we're doing now is we got some heat wrap. I have another one here. We got some black exhaust wrap. I'm currently setting it in the water so it can soak it up. And then we're going to start wrapping this. And once this is all wrapped up, we need to make a wastegate dump straight to the ground. And then we have to use this again, wrap the heat, wrap the dump tube from the wastegate with this, because on 9th Gen Civics there's a bunch of, you got brake lines back here. It's hard to see them. I did bend them out of the way of the downpipe right here and the wastegate. But the wastegate is going to be kind of straightforward. It's just kind of going to go shoot, shoot, down and around. So when that gets made, we'll be good to go. And after that, all that's left is I'm picking up my injectors this weekend. We went with FIC 1000s. Found out one of my studs is shorter. Hey, whatever though. And one of my studs back here, the bolt is hitting the turbo. So I have to figure out a way to tighten that up somehow or another. The studs look odd, but they're gonna work. All that's left is finish the exhaust up. I need to put hose clamps on the wastegate vacuum lines and tighten down the wastegate actual like connectors. And once those are tight, I can bolt up drain for the oil, the feed for the oil, bolt in the intake compressor side of the turbo, bolt this down, add some more hose clamps on fittings, and it's done. I have to buy my Honda, and other than that, it's done. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna finish up the exhaust, finish up everything in the engine bay, and yeah. Once I get Honda on, I'll be able to at least start it. I need to check for coolant leaks because we put the DC5 heater core tuck kit on it that goes all the way around and down and around and around and around. Check for oil leaks coming off of the oil pressure sensor that's feeding to the turbo. Need to check oil for the drain, and I need to check fuel leaks because it has new lines everywhere. But once all that's done, it's done. I got my wideband sensor and my boost gauge wired up. I'm waiting on my gauge pod. So they're all in, wired up. Just waiting on a few things like Honda, waiting on my gauge pods. So for now, I'm going to finish button up the exhaust, button up the turbo and wastegate. It's just the small stuff. And once it's all buttoned up and done, and then, yeah, there's my boost controller. We can put it all together, and then when Honda comes in, we can check for leaks. And if there's no leaks and everything is good as it goes, we can put our windshield cowl back on, put our hood back on. I got new fender liners to put here because that one was pretty ripped. Our air dam underneath was pretty bad. Still need to finish mounting off the intercooler entirely. It's bolted but not fully yet. And then, so we're gonna do some miscellaneous stuff next few days until I can buy my Honda. I sold my go-kart, did a side job, and I still don't have enough. This not so budget deal is becoming not so budget. But if you look at our list is almost done. All these are done except for, that's what I'm doing right now. Oil and coolant, that's a given. Clutch, I will need that one day. I do need spark plugs. I forgot about that. Ordered a Honda, hose clamps on the vacuums, tighten my intercooler brackets up. I need my injectors, which are ordered. Hooked battery in the trunk. All my wires are ran. I just need to plug it up. I'm working on this weekend, and I'm gonna double check twice. Obviously, adding coolant, check lines, check leaks. I'm throwing all this in one video, so if you're still here in this long video, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. We're gonna get this thing done in this video. It might not be dyno tuned in this video. I'm gonna drag that out for a little bit, but the car will be done in this video. It's taking longer than I expected and taking more money than I expected, but it's gonna be cool. And I think I'm gonna hit 350 horsepower and call it done. Good daily. So let's get this exhaust wrapped up. I'm not gonna film this. There's a million videos on YouTube how to exhaust wrap your exhaust. So with that being said, I'll catch y'all in either a few days or in a few minutes or in a few hours. Either way, I'll see y'all in a second. I know this video has jumped all over the place, and if you're still here waiting to see the Civic done, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's done. It's completely done. Everything on my list is done. The only thing left, I don't really need spark plugs, but I need them just to get tune, turbo stuff. I need to put oil and coolant in it, and I need my K-tuner. As you can see, it's done. I mean, it's completely done. I just finished up the wastegate dump, and I didn't record it. I don't know why, but it's down there. It's coming off the wastegate there. You see the black tube going down and dumping to the ground. Downpipe is coming off the turbo, going into the downpipe with the wideband. I got my new splash shields and everything under here. You can see the dump tube come out right there. Here's the exhaust going to the stock exhaust, and it's sitting pretty flush. Here's my drain, intercooler. The other day I put my fuel pump in, and I got my injectors in thanks to Jeremy. I popped those in. I ended up going with Fuel Injector Clinic 1000s, FIC 1000s, and they were specifically made for the 2012 to 2015 SI because the O-ring seat is completely different from any other K series. So if you have this car, beware. Yesterday, I tried to prime the fuel to see if I have any leaks before I throw a Honda in here and try to start it, and I got fuel spraying everywhere. Wasn't building any pressure. Come to find out, you can wire your fuel pump backwards. It's like a brush motor in an RC car. You wire it backwards, it goes backwards. Pulled the pump back out, rewired it, built pressure up, 20 pounds at the rail with just the ignition key on, so it does build pressure. But there it is. It's done. I'm waiting on to put oil in it, put coolant in it, and then I'm gonna try to actually start it without Honda, without an evap, without mass airflow, with a 4-bar map sensor, no bank 1 or 2 oxygen sensors. But once all that's done, I can fold this metal down, I can put my shield back on, put my hood back on, clean it, and drive it. But it's done. It is completely done. I mean, seriously, there's nothing else I need to do. Spark plugs, that's like maintenance stuff, but wow, I did that. Never done that before, and I hope it's all right, but it's done. Thanks for watching. I don't know how far we're gonna go with this, if we're gonna do the first drive in this video. I might just end it here. So with that being said, next video will be driving the Civic, and not under boost, just to drive it. I can't get it tuned right now because I know my clutch is gonna slip immediately. And I just went through all that work putting all that on. I should have pulled the clutch out when I had the chance, but nah, I don't care. So that's a day, another project. Hopefully the clutch can hold 250, 300 horsepower at least. But it's done. I'll have my car back. It might be untuned without a clutch on a nice drivability base map. That'd be it. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you're new here, subscribe. If you're not new here and not subscribed, subscribe. It's been a journey. YouTube's changing all their things. So anyway, peace out. See you next video.